Just making sure I'm actually live. I think so. Yeah. Nice, nice. All right, guys. My name is Kev Reed. My name's Kev Reed. If you're on YouTube, you're watching me on Reed Media, and on Rumble, it is the Black Truther. Today, I'm gonna do a different kind of video where I'm just gonna go through give a little update on the Iran war. Trump just had a speech, I think about like an hour ago, where he said a whole lot of nothing. As usual, he's claiming they're close to a ceasefire. Meanwhile, at the same time, he's putting all of these soldiers up in the Middle East. So he's saying one thing and he's doing something different. You know, it's just surprising at this point. I mean, my goodness. All right, so first off, to know about let me see. Where's Yeah, we'll start here, I guess. Anyway. All right, so anyway, to start off, you got to know some things about Iran. I think a lot of people, just like Ukraine or most other, a lot of these countries that we deal with, a lot of people can't point these things on a map. So this is Iran. This is the Middle East right here. Right, all of this. This is Israel. All right, Israel's like the size of New Jersey. Okay, I think they said like 9 million people. Iran, 92, 90 or 92 million people. All right. For any of the history buffs, this is Persia. It's basically what it is. It's part of Persia, the Persian Empire. That is, if you've seen the movie 300, Sparta, I believe the Persian army is the huge army they go against. So they have a history, right? And they've never invaded anybody. I think for the most part, I guess they always claim that a lot of their kerfluffles, conflicts as they like to call it now, have been defensive, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so this is Iran. Iran has mad mountains. Listen, you know how, remember Afghanistan? I don't know if you kept up with that war, but if you know, when we were in Afghanistan, they would always talk about the terrain. The terrain. Iraq's over here. Iraq is like, I guess, basically desert. But Afghanistan has a lot of mountains. Well, and it was hard terrain to deal with. Gave us fits. Well, their mountains, Afghanistan's mountains, are nothing compared to Iraq. Iraq's got some of the, I'm not Iraq. Iran has some of the biggest mountains in the world. Right? These are huge. This is why they're able to hide a lot of their artillery and munitions in mountains. At the bottom, they dig down and put them shits down there. They create a whole like fortress down there. All right, Iran. Let's see, West Asia, Turkey, Turkmenistan. There we go. Population over 92 million. Iran ranks 17th globally in both geographic size and population. I mean, there's 120, 30, 40 some countries or something like that. I mean, they're 17th. They're fucking huge. Let's see. So, look. They go all back 7th BC, 3rd century AD. Like they've been around. They've been doing this. This isn't Iraq, right? This isn't any of the other countries they've been dealing with. This is a certified an affordable opponent. I think that's how you say it. Formidable. There it is. Formidable opponent. Underestimation has been practically the key throughout this whole thing. The way the U.S., Trump, and them have basically, they have that American attitude, American exceptionalism. I think that's how you say it. Uh, where Americans think they're the best at everything. Now compare it. America has 300 and I think 30 million. I'm pretty sure it's 330 million. It's 300 and something million. And so we're a bigger country, but like always, we not fighting at our place as of right now. So yeah, so these are all mountains. The Zagros Mountains. So this is all the mountains. This is where Tehran is. Tehran is the capital, or the capital. Yeah. And it's right here, and it is surrounded by all these mountains. Right now, here's the Strait of Hormuz. I'm sure we've all heard of that now by now. This is where all the ships, come in and go, and they all come from up here. So they all come from these countries. These are the Gulf countries. These are other Arab countries. I'm not sure each one. They're all Muslim, but there's two different sides of Muslim. So one or the other, I don't know. I'm not. But basically, as of right now, all of them have basically took the USA position. They've aligned themselves with the US. The US has bases all around here, and they expect to be protected. All right, and so basically all these other. So this is like when you start to get to like Europe and Russia and all that. And that's Putin's deal. This is why Putin is allied. Putin and China are Russia and China are allies of Iran. All right. I thought this was interesting. These are the countries' rankings by average IQ. A lot of people talk about IQ. Oh, IQ. Look at number one's China. Look who's number 4. Oh, looks like they're on average smarter than us. Interesting. And again, this will keep pointing to the overestimation or underestimate. I'm sorry, the underestimation of your opponent, which has been, the key really to how this is, played out and how it continues to play out, and what looks like might go in their favor. If the way it looks now, and if Trump is still Trump and nobody, holds him back, I mean, he's gonna completely wet the bed. And so he said in his speech earlier, he basically is claiming that there have been talks and he's close to a ceasefire, when Iran's like, we never even talking to you, bro. What are you talking about? Huh? No. You know what they said? They said they talking with missiles. That's how we negotiating. Cold games. And so basically the media, or most outlets, when you hear people kind of talk about the war, they talk about it as if, as always, America's just obliterating them. They have no chance, blah, 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 dropping bombs from everywhere. And there's been a lot of censorship to block a lot of this. Like Israel is completely shut off. You get 5 years now if you post a video of wreckage or whatever's going on in Israel. And America has even went to satellite companies who had images of the bases to take those down. All right. So Iran basically, when the U.S. started coming around the Middle East and just, fucking with, and with Israel and all this stuff, when all this stuff happened, Iran basically has been watching afar. They help, they do little things, but Iran knew at something, especially because the enemy is the USA, is so, you know, look at the guy, especially not even just the guy they got in there, but how the U.S. operates with this huge ego and arrogance. Uh, they knew at some point they're going to come in. We are going to have to confront. We're going to have a confrontation at some point. They've known this for years because America helped change their government in like the 50s, I believe, and the 70s, right? So there's all this history. And so Iran has been preparing for this battle for over 40 years. Do you understand? Everything is against every war game. Everything is all about against the United States, against this huge superpower. And this, from what it looks like, this will be, if it continues on, will be an example, great example, legendary, historic example of, David and Goliath type, the big, huge bully underestimates the one guy and catches a uppercut. All right, so let's hear. This is how Iran's military is set up. FYI, they say that the Supreme Leader, Khamenei, whatever his name is, he could have went into hiding, into the bunker, into somewhere safe, but he chose to be martyred. We'll get into what that means. Basically, to go out for the cause, and he knew it would rally everybody else to get your together. It's time. It's going down. This is what we've been waiting for 40 something years, baby. Said no off switch. The fact that Hamas said that tells you, that kind of signals to who's buttering your bread, buddy. Huh? Where your dollar bills come from? Quite interesting that they told one of their partners, the big dog, trying to tell the big dog, the little guy telling the big guy, hey, bro, you gotta chill, bro. Don't you fucking this over me? You know what I'm saying? I told you what we got going on. Nah, nigga, no off switch. So, when the war started, obviously America went in there, guns a blazing, dropping bombs on shit. That's really all we do. Drop bombs and shit. Well, that's not all we do, but But remember, the country's friggin' humongous. Look how big this shit is, right? They're bombing it everywhere. Like they said, we've hit 13,000 targets. Okay, well, but they're not able to penetrate the mountains and the bunkers where all the weapons are. They've been making weapons for 40 years, bruh. People always keep talking about, oh, well, I think they're running out. They're not gonna run out. They're not gonna run out. They have drones and missiles, and those drones that they have cost a couple $1,000s to make. So the strategy for them, because this is what it's all coming about, the strategy is basically, can they survive through the bombing? Because the other side of it, which we'll get into, the economic side, is the reason why the U.S. is really feeling the hurt. Because when the world feels a hurt, we're the number one. Everything's kind of going through us. So, but real quick, let's talk about the war in general and some of the goofy that's been going on in this war. Look at this. U.S. troops were told war on Iran was all part of God's divine plan. Remember I told you about being martyred. Martyred basically is when you die for the cause, when someone is dead in battle, I guess you'd say, for the Muslims. And so that's an honorable thing to do. I mean, yeah. And so one of the talking points for this administration and everybody who's supports the war is that they're religious they're crazies. They're religious crazies, right? They're crazy Muslims, That's really, crazy Muslims. It's like, what is it, 2005, bro? Like, what the fuck? But what you find out is that a lot of this stuff is happening because of the Israel and United States side. People like Pete Hegseth, a lot of these Jewish billionaires and donors, a lot of them that are behind this and behind Israel, they have their own idea of the end of the world times. And so supposedly they are trying to ramp it up. They're trying to speed this up, right? By doing all this goofy to push the process just a little faster. So Religious Freedom Group says 200 troops sent complaints of superiors using extremist Christian rhetoric to justify the war. They were telling the soldiers this is a religious end of the world kind of war. That's why we're doing this. Because remember, at the beginning, nobody got no real explanation of why. He just did it. U.S. military commanders have been invoking extremist Christian rhetoric about biblical end times to justify involvement in the Iran war to troops. This is crazy. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation says it received over 200 complaints from service members across all branches of the armed forces, including the Marines, Air Force, and Space Force. I mean, let's say you're not even any of them. Let's say you're agnostic. You don't want to hear that shit. You're like, what? I don't believe in this. What are you talking about? Why would you feel? This is the hubris and the arrogance that you get from the American side and a lot of these people. He said that President Trump has been anointed. Look at this. Anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to earth. That's crazy. Anytime or the U.S. is involved in the Middle East, we get this stuff about Christian nationalists who've taken over our government. And certainly, is that who they did? Oh, is that who took over? In a statement, Weinstein suggested the reports indicate an increase in Christian extremism. Look, here we go. Mr. Fox News himself, Pete Hegseth, the U.S. Defense Secretary, is known for his embrace of Christian nationalism. He previously endorsed the doctrine of sphere sovereignty, a worldview derived from the extremist beliefs of Reconstructionism. The philosophy calls for capital punishment for and strictly patriarchal families and church. I mean, this is who you guys got leading. This is who you guys got. This is who you voted for, right? You voted for this. Yeah, voted for this. Did you vote? Did you vote for a war in Iran? Did you vote for that? I don't think you did. No, I don't think you did. That's why it's so funny to see these goofy Trump supporters and MAGA people twist and turn and do all kinds of mental gymnastics to even try to make the case of supporting this goofy ass. It's like, bro, he ran on no new wars. We remember. I didn't forget, bro. Like, what do you? And they're like, no, what he said was no forever war. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He did not say that. He said no new wars specifically. What the fuck? No forever war. Goofy. So also, the U.S. Army is expanding its recruiting pool by raising the maximum enlistment age from 35 to 42. The Pentagon has estimated that only about 23% of young Americans between the ages of 17 and 24 are eligible to serve. Much this is due to academic performance on the military's SAT-style entrance test, obesity, and criminal records. I think they lifted the conviction for marijuana now. So that's not going to stop you. Nah, you can call me Muhammad Ali, bro. I ain't going. I am not going. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. Now I'm old. I'm in the range, but, shit gotta get real bad before you come calling me. So let's take a look. So what actually happened? So basically, the war stars, Israel and Iran, or Israel and the U.S. go over there and I think together and drop some bombs. Well, what ends up happening surrounding Iran? Let's see, surrounding Iran. So a lot of these countries right here, they have American bases. If you look at, like, I didn't find the pic, but there's like a meme or a picture where it shows Iran and then it shows all the U.S. bases. They're all surrounding the fucking country. Like, it's not even subtle. Like, it's so, like, if you looking for it, you find it in 2 seconds. You see. And so, Iraq, Kuwait. So Iraq's interesting because there are, I believe, forces that, I'm not sure if there's still forces that are friendly with America there. I think so. I know we have bases there and stuff still. But a lot of the Iraqi, they have other groups that are allied with Iran. I think they're the same kind of, they're either Shiite or Sunni. I think it's Shiite. I think they're Shiite, and they're linked. They in there like this, and so that's why I believe there's like still a lot of fighting in like southern Iraq. I think this right here. You see this Baghdad? See, look how close Baghdad is to Iran. Like, what the fuck? Right. So you got Kuwait here. I remember they were at war with Kuwait. Or America did some shit with Kuwait. I think they did a little, gave them a little freedom, right? Gave them a little freedom. Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, here's Qatar down here, United Arab. So all these countries are rich or oil rich. There's Bahrain right here, that's small as hell. All of these countries are like rich oil. So a lot of their oil passes through here. They gotta come through the Persian Gulf right here. And at the Strait of Hormuz, it gets real thin. They say it's like, I think, only a couple miles. Like right here, 2-3 miles or whatever. Right? So what happened at the beginning was America had been bringing all their boats and all this. And then we really don't know too much, but what it looks like is that all the boats were obviously too close. And Iran, they started lobbing missiles, And in particular, the drones, the Shahed drone. These are drones that they made themselves. Hey, remember? They made themselves under sanctions. Like, what? Niggas couldn't even get steel. Like, we make steel. This is the type of shit they were on for 40-something years, bro. They figured it out. These people are smart, bro. They're not fucking idiots. You know, people have this preconceived notion of, like, I guess, Muslims is, and, the Middle East, and, but no, these things, they not the ones. This ain't them. No. So they basically, America got bombed by, right when the I think the first day or second day of the fight, Iran just starts lobbing missiles, all the bases. And at these bases are one of the things that America has, that's really expensive, is their radar, their ability to have interceptor missiles. Like they have, what's it called, Iron Dome at Israel and stuff. They can knock a lot of these. They can knock a lot of these missiles down. They have usually I think it's like they have a pretty high success rate, like 90 some, or 90, 85, 90, 90 some. So you got to send a lot of missiles. So what Iran was doing was using all their older missiles first to use it. So they just keep sending missiles the first couple days because they're trying to use up all of America's interceptors. Right? So they hit many of the 13 bases in the region used by American troops are all but uninhabitable, with the ones in Kuwait, which is next door to Iran, suffering perhaps the most damage. And from what I hear, they still hitting them shits. Like to this day, like this, all March, they were fucking them bases up. Right? And America just didn't, America's never been punched in the face like that, basically. And for the thing about the drones you can't even see on radar. That's the thing. Iran, at the beginning of the war, hit crucial radar points where, these things are like $1 billion or something. And with one missile, one little drone, little $5,000 drone, blow up $1 billion. So they hit a whole bunch of these radars all over the Middle East. And even if you have interceptors now, things are going to get through. And what has Iran been doing? Just chucking missiles and drones at fucking Israel and all the Gulf states. And they won't stop. And they holding up all the boats in the Strait of Hormuz. They don't, and the funny thing about it is, the way Iran has behaved the last month and the way they've actually fought back has made it to where they don't even really need to physically guard the strait. Just the very threat, just the very ability for them to say, those will be next. Why? Because almost every time they'll say, we're going to hit this. You do this, we're going to hit this. And they do that shit. Right? They do that shit. While they've always shown restraint in the past, they let them fly. And America's getting fucked up. That's the truth of it. America's getting fucked up. People don't like the truth. People don't want to hear it. People lose their minds when you say like that, because they just can't fathom. This is how deep the brainwashing is, how the programming is that you've been programmed to put yourself on this pedestal. So look, these are all some of the bases right here. Confirmed reports of destruction, suffering perhaps the most damage. Kuwait bases right here. They were really giving them the business, right? And so U.S. troops had to leave the bases. And Iran found out they were putting them up in hotels, because they had to leave the bases. And they could start hitting hotels. They start hitting hotels, bro. So here we go. Iran's bombardment of the U.S. bases across the Middle East has forced thousands of American troops to abandon their installations and operate from hotels, office buildings, and other improvised locations, effectively fighting a major war while working remote. They had a headline in I think it was the New York Times, where it said soldiers are going remote for the war. Oh, really? I know that's probably in the future at some time, but we're not there yet, buddy. Many of the 13 U.S. bases in the region are now heavily damaged and uninhabitable. Destroyed by Army operations. This is where 6 U.S. troops go. And listen, let me tell you something. They're KIA, I believe that means killed in action. What is it now? 13 or something? Bullshit. All right, they're obviously lying. They're obviously lying. I saw a video earlier today where the IRGC came out and said that they even had a specific number. They said we got 37 of them. An attack that we had this morning. And see, everybody, you know, on this in the establishment, everybody supporting the war, everybody, they'll take, you can't believe Iran. You believe Iran over our government? Yeah. Yeah. Our government has told us that we've won 1,000,000 times over and over and over. When I know that's even a little bit of that's not true. Hello. It's a lie. And it's so egregious and almost it's disrespectful to the point where like you think either you actually think Trump actually thinks he's getting over on everybody, him and his base, and people are still actually believing his BS, or he's just got no fucking respect for the people of America, the citizens, and even more importantly, the military and the men in uniform that he's using for whatever fucking reason. It's disgusting. So Iran's been desperate. And you know, people say, oh, you know, you're American. Oh, do you want America to lose? Like, listen, I need to be very real here. Okay. America for the last from decades, last at least 50 years or whatever, they're not the good guys anymore. We know enough now. No, they're not the good guys. I don't care what either side is too, whether you're Democrat, Republican, that is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter. The people, the elites, the people that are in charge who make all these decisions, all the decisions they've been making for the past 50 years. Asinine and egregious. And we go in other people's countries and then act as if we have this like right. It's funny about one of the talking points for the war is they can't have nuclear weapons. It's like, who the fuck are you, bro? What? Like, what do you mean? So other people can have them. You can have them, but I can't. Now, you can't even have ballistic missiles. I mean, you can even try to make the case, I guess, about nuclear weapons. You can have some kind of foundation to like make that argument. That would make sense. But saying they can't have ballistic missiles? Everybody's got fucking missiles. That's like the baseline. So you want them to just be, you seriously expect them after you and your people have attacked them as much as you have. This is what I mean. This is so asinine and crazy. Like, you really think they owe you that? What? That's insane. You know how we have that? We have the whole joke over here. Oh, so and so's not listening. Maybe they want some freedom. Maybe we got to bring them some freedom. Everybody, it's like what the fuck? They killed like what they said like 1 million Iraqis when we went over there. We just been slaughtering people. I learned about this thing in this bombing campaign. I think like in Laos, or it was some small Asian country where they were literally dropping bombs. I think they said like I think they said for every 3 hours, nonstop for like 3, 4, 5, like it was multiple years. They literally said every 3 hours they were dropping a bomb somewhere, and it was a small island. It sounds, you can't even. It's not even. It doesn't compute. It doesn't even fucking compute, bro. Dropping bombs every 3 hours. You can't justify that, you know. And let's be honest. I mean, what America did to that little girl's school, hundred and something. Like what? You did? Oh, we didn't know it wasn't. It's disgusting. And supposedly they've been bombing all kinds of civilian sites. Right now, they've been doing it, like hitting schools and hospitals, and it's nasty. I never thought we were like that. I know our greatest ally does that type of. I never thought, or like when it does happen, the majority are gonna condemn it and say no, that's bad. Like, because I saw a lot of crazy in Iraq, but no, but then you come to realize how evil these fucking people are. It's just like, all right, so this video is crazy. This is a video of a missile. Bro, it falls right next to them. This is some scary shit. Hell yeah, you did. That's gotta that's gotta mess you up in the even just being that close to that. People were saying in people were saying in the comments, I think that it does some like traumatic brain injury. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I figured it'd be something physical, but I guess that's what I'm saying. Is this a mental, or is it from the actual, explosion? Look how close it is. Look at that. You see how fast that motherfucker going? This at a base. So this is what was happening. When after America, attacked them. Well, they were ready and let loose on all our bases, and they've kept this quiet because you can't show the big bad wolf get punched in the mouth. That's unacceptable. No, 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 no. You can't do that. It's like the whole. This is an old hip hop saying. I think I don't know if Jay-Z was the first one to say it or somebody I think from New York, where they say uh they they didn't they didn't just make guns when they made yours. Yeah, they didn't start making guns when they made yours. Meaning, you're not the only nigga with guns, bro. Or you're not only nigga with missiles. You're not the only. We can do that, and they're doing it. They're doing it. All right, let's hear. Let's see. Thinking U.S. can land and be. So basically, supposedly the plan is, to have a ground invasion, to have boots on the ground, to have American soldiers either take an island or drop in the country, parachute in. But I don't know how they expect to do this. Uh, it's crazy, absolutely insane. I think it would be a suicide mission. Let's hear what this guy. He's a former United States military. Hmm. To die in battle. Highest achievement. No, this isn't. Think about what we have now. And now, what I need a lot of people to do is not, a lot of people, when they think about the military, think of the military right now, the Americans right now. See, those guys that went to Iraq and the Middle East in the early 2000s, they're not there anymore. That's what we had. We had a legit army then. Everybody has been completely fucked. I mean, overweight, they smoke all the time, they do this, they do that. You don't have so many people that are fit in shape like that, that are war ready. And then take that even out of it. Let's say we had all that. Let's say we had a whole bunch of Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Like they said, the fervor, I like that word, the will. I mean, this is patriotism and religion. I guess people say extremism or whatever. I don't, whatever you want to call it. But that's an ultimate motivator to the likes that we can't fathom. Our country isn't like that anymore, bro. They've completely destroyed the country, and now you have so many people that, well, they're from there and I'm not from here, and I, we don't have people that are. We don't have a lot of people.
Can I go?
Where?
Can I go in Hazel's house?
Okay, fine. I'm live.
Sorry.
That's fine. All right. For how long?
For like 10 minutes.
All right. Just answer your phone.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so no, it's not. It's Iran is kind of on another level, honestly. Especially when you're talking about individual, like soldiers. We're in big trouble. Let's see if I can find where's our soldiers. Let's see if I can find that clip. This is embarrassing, bro. But it's kind of emblematic of the situation we're in. Let's see, where is it? I do have it. So, here we go. Here we go. Wait, oops. All right, Navy sleep. So this is the Navy. This is the Navy sleeping conditions. Hold on. Hey, hey. All right. This is our soldiers right here. know. You feel safe? You feel safe yet? You should feel safe. Huh? American military's on the job. Oh, no. I don't know if that's like copyrighted. Look, she said this looks inhumane. No way people actually live like this. I'm sure it was so much worse back in the day too. This is why I said these are our soldiers. We're so cooked. Oh, this a few steps above a slave ship. What? A few steps? Maybe a lot of steps. What are you saying? Look at this. If this is the okay, nigga, whatever, bro. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about some of the talking points. The goofy, ridiculous talking points. I mean, this shit's so stupid. The fact you have to ask that is part of the problem. You have to tell us. Oh. Yeah, away from you, nigga, okay? Away from y'all. What gives y'all the right to be all up in their business? Aren't they a sovereign nation? Is that like not a thing anymore? It seems like that's not even a thing anymore. You're sovereign until they say you aren't. Until we decide to just roll up in, parachute in, and take whatever the fuck we want. It's nasty. It's disgusting. But believe they have bit off more than they can chew this time. Oh, weapons. Okay. Oh. Well, where are they? Okay. Is that a bad thing? Isn't that your goal? Like, what are you talking about? Yes, they're deterrence. That's what they're trying to deter you from coming over here. It's such a joke. Mhm. Meaning you can't just come up in here and take shit because we're gonna knock you upside the head. I mean, this is so elementary. The fact that they're actually even going with it. I mean, and people buy this shit. It blows my mind. I hate the fact that they talk all this big shit. They ain't bust a grape. It's so nasty. It's so nasty how they act and do the and the behavior and the decisions they make, all because of Americans are us as a empire, the might. It's just was it blackmail with by the end of a gun. They by violence. That's how we run. That's never going to last. See, China knows that. China knows that. And it's really basic concept. But these niggas is retarded, so. I mean, literally, if you just look in the past, Libya, Gaddafi, they they wanted him to, I think, to get rid of his missiles, get rid of the because there's this thing about everybody should get rid of them because they're such, they're so bad, such bad weapons, and they'll destroy the whole world. But and Gaddafi, they went to Gaddafi and said, hey, how about let's get rid of yours? And he said, fine. This is Libya, Northern Africa. As soon as he didn't have them, America invaded. That man was sodomized on a recording in public by the people, by his enemies, the people America basically used, I guess, mercenaries, I guess, or they'll take a ragtag bunch. This is like ISIS and all these other. This is what America does. They go into these countries and, so they don't have to use our own resource. They'll just pay or supply the opposition, whatever the opposition is of the country. They'll just give them guns, money, and go wreak havoc. Wreak havoc, baby. They did that. They do that to all of these countries. So this is why. Also, this goes to why when they'll the supporters of this stupid war will always bring up 30,000 were killed, 45,000, so some goofy crazy number. And on a weekend in the protests in Iran, they killed 45,000. It's like, bro, y'all don't know anything, bro. This is the same steps. It's always the same thing. No, America in the other country, the greatest ally, found some people to wreak havoc, supplied some people, and then obviously these people are already, enemies of the regime anyway. They don't like the regime, what's going on, but they go and wreak havoc. 45,000 people killed. None of that is, like certified, or what is it called? What is that? 45,000. I think you hear all kinds of numbers. You hear 30,000, you hear 35,000, you hear 45,000. And they just, they killed their own people, so we have to go in there. It's just so elementary, bro. It's like, I'm like, where were you? Were y'all babies and kids when 03 happened, when Iraq happened? Like, this is the same thing. They didn't even change the playbook. It's the same thing. Hey, they got weapons that they can't have. We got to go in there and take them. They're gonna invade us. They're gonna attack us, even though you attack them and have been attacking them. What a joke! Look, and these people, they just lie like they breathe. Oh, here you go. Dehumanize. This is what they do. Same thing they do to the Palestinians over in Gaza. Dehumanize. This terrorist regime is so backwards. It's backwards. And look, these people she got a cross on. She ain't got no problem lying out her ass. Knowing damn well that nigga is not talking to not a soul. He ain't talking this shit. It's like, they're like, who do you believe? Do you believe Iran, the terrorist regime? Unbelievable. So here we go. Look at, okay, here we go. His lying ass. When was this? This was, oh, this is March 24th. March 24th. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. About a week or so ago. President Trump announced the war in Iran has been won. I don't know what number, how many times he's already said it. But the whole time he's saying this, U.S. Army's 82nd Division Airborne Unit deploys to the Middle East to secure our victory. No, he's a goofy, so don't even secure our victory. What the fuck does that mean? People have to so you won. Now you need another group of people to come in to secure the victory. Get the fuck out of here, bro. It's so stupid. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, it's right. My bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. Talk about out of touch. Like, this is so symbolic of how out of touch he is. Because they still think that's how warfare really is these days. This is another reason why Iran is in the position they are in. Because they've understood it's way more technological. It's upgraded. You know, your big old air was it carrier craft, the Abraham Lincoln, and you can't tell me that they didn't get hit, bro. Oh, they had a laundry room fire, and so we're offline for 2 weeks. Huh? What? And see, here's the thing. Y'all lie all the time anyway. So at this point, I'm gonna assume whatever they say is probably the opposite. And then they'll destroy Israel's if they haven't already. So, I mean, what you're really saying, obviously he's just talking out of his ass, but bluffing, but Israel, we still don't really know. Literally been getting it every day, all day, this whole time. And at a certain point, they've run out of interceptors. That's gone. That's out of here. They're getting lit up. America went to take some other interceptors from another ally, South Korea, took them shits and brought them to Israel. South Korea's like, wait, you promised us. These are for us, for North Korea. We'll be butt naked and vulnerable. Yeah, well, Israel comes first. The Gulf states, Saudi Arabia and all them, they said the same thing. Hey, bro, where you taking that radar? Where you taking everything? Like, they packed up all the equipment. They caught him. Hey, what you doing? What's up? What happened? I thought you were helping us. Yeah, no, sorry, we've kind of run into a little snag, a little issue. It takes us about a month to make those interceptors. Yeah, and we can only make a couple at a time. We don't have the capacity to make a lot. So, but Israel is, we gotta, yeah. You know how it is, though. It's Israel. Come on. Yeah. Should we even listen to the rest of this goofy thing? It's a close battle. Well, let's hear what this thing says. Here we go. No, he does not. Just FYI. Right now, in his head, he knows they've already have the ground invasion planned. It's already done. We're doing that. That's happening. It's probably going to happen on Friday. See, these motherfuckers have gotten so predictable now. We're going to get a ceasefire. No, you're not. You have to have the other people have to agree. Don't you get that? That's pretty 101 on negotiations. We have to agree so we can move forward. No, Iran has said no, not talking. We ain't talking. Eat this missile. I remember not too long ago they said, "Oh, they only have 20% of missile launchers left." The next day, it was like the biggest day of the most missiles. It's like okay, 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 oh, okay, oh, couple weeks, couple weeks, we'll be out of your hair. Couple weeks. So meanwhile, let's see, good old Donald. Let's hear this statement. Listen to this. Kamala. Sadly, he's probably right there, which is pathetic. And second, oh, really? Where would Israel go if you weren't around, Trump? Where would it go? Huh? Huh? See, let me tell you something. It's time for American, the citizens, people to start to understand, at the very least, listen, these dudes, these people, they're not making these real decisions. Okay? I don't think the fact that they even that they, started this war. No, I don't think it was, I think he's got to eat it. The same goes with Kamala. Right? These people aren't making these huge decisions. I don't buy it. I don't believe so. And I think war in Iran was happening whether Trump or Kamala was in. I think that was happening. Just like weapons and military aid will be going. Doesn't matter who's, what happened in Gaza. That's still gonna happen, sadly. And that's why people need to start waking up and understand these goofy motherfuckers are puppets. You wouldn't have a Middle East. Everything would have been gone. They would have nuked the whole Middle East. It's so ridiculous. All right, I gotta wrap this up. All right, let's take a listen to some former Scott Ritter and I, not always on the same page, especially when it comes to Ukraine, but on the Iran war, we are as one. Let's see what he says. Oh. Facts. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I've said. And wait, you be sitting ducks, just lobbing missiles and drones. As you should. Yeah. Yeah. Dumbass. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Very well said. Oof. That cuts deep. That cuts deep. Because it's so true. That's what I've said, man. I'm gonna leave it right there. I had a couple other tabs I wanted to get to. Oh, Dennis Kucinich. He really. We'll listen to him. This is Dennis Kucinich, who I believe he's a Democrat. He was really cool with. He was like the Democrat version of Ron Paul, I believe. They were like, I would always see them chatting it up. It really is. It's just basically one of those guys, like a Thomas Massey. It's like just like common sense, regular, smart guy who won't, fold or buckle under the bullshit pressure. To vote for this, do for that, do for that, follow, Massey, step, fall in line, like how Trump says, like he's fucking king. You know, uh, it's another example that shows you how people like Trump and a lot of these people, they don't give a about this country and what it stands for. Okay. Mm-hmm. FYI, like he just said, like I said earlier, it's open. It's open to allies and people who are willing to go. See, that's changing now because now they realize they can do like the Panama Canal and charge, right? Charge your ass. Oh, okay. UAE or Saudi. Oh, you want your shit? Yeah. Yeah. $5 million, nigga. Some crazy shit. It's like $20 million. It's like, like, nigga, you got it. We know you got it. Prince fucking whatever. Ballsman, Saul, whatever the guy's name is. Salman or whatever. Yeah, we know you got it. So now, so the Strait of the Hormuz, so if all is, like if it was a ceasefire, let's say that he says the ceasefire is right, or I mean, is coming, and he's telling the truth. If it happened, Iran would have come out of this whole thing as a boss, big dog, who laid the bully down, and they would come out now gaining the Strait of Hormuz as a money or revenue source, which before they didn't do that. They never closed it before. None of this happened until you went poking the bear, fucking with people. So they will have come out of this with a net gain, while we just completely depleted all our resources, and can't do shit if we have to go against China or Russia. They make a move. That's all over Iran. Goofy, stupid, goofy.
Our troops could get massacred. The drones, the missiles,
Mm-hmm.
the armaments that Iran possesses, and we're on the visiting team here.
All right.
To me, it's the height of dishonor for an American administration to send young men and women to their certain deaths.
Mm.
In this case, there will be high casualties.
Yep.
And if we do this, and I am unalterably opposed.
I think he needs to go to jail.
This administration is doing with respect to Iran. It has started with one lie after another, and Iran will never trust the United States
Ever again.
Iran, on the other hand, will dictate the terms of this settlement. It's clear to see that the U.S., as a result of this, will have to remove its bases from the region, and that's just the beginning of the effects on the U.S. position geopolitically.
Iran said one of the conditions for ceasefire, you have to agree to pay us reparations and pay for all this shit that you blew up. Could you believe that? Wait, what? Oh, okay. Imagine. Oh my God. Now, the U.S. will probably never agree to that. I mean, who knows? But who knows, though? Right now, one side has the upper hand, and it's looking like that unless I think something drastic is about to happen, and I believe Dennis Kucinich hit it right on the head, where, I mean, I'm not even a military guy. I've never been in the military and war game or none of that shit. I did play Risk when I was coming up, and I played a lot of video games, right? So strategy of human to human, going one-on-one. So I haven't done it in real life, but any regular, normal, sane, logical, reasonable person could kind of see how this was kind of cooking up. And we could see that America has been put on its back foot. They're out of the driver's seat now. And their next move is crucial. And if Trump were to make that decision and put them there and they get massacred, any regular normal person could see, how is XYZ supposed to happen? They go there, you get bombed into all hell. Drones, missiles, all that. You're right there. I'm sure they will gladly blow their own shit up to spank you, belt to ass. We gonna put one of them big ass aircraft carriers going through the Strait of Hormuz, slow as fuck. That little fuckers. You're sitting. Spank, bam. He's sending them. Any kind of ground invasion. They have thought of however you come in, they've already war gamed. They've already have it ready. They know. They're so ready for this. And it's even like the basic strategy. America can't get it together. So I really hope this doesn't happen. But I do know even if it does happen, America and the censorship and the lying and the gaslighting is going to be off the fucking charts. I mean, it already is right now. They're lying about the number of people who passed away. 13 or some goofy. No. Shut the... Please, bro. The way they sending missiles? No. They done killed probably at least... I wouldn't be surprised if it was a couple hundred, but I'd probably say like right now, I'd probably say they've probably killed about... At the very... I think at least 100. I think so. I think they have. I think Iran's gotten that off. You know, at the very least, I would say. How does it go to 13 or 14, whatever, and then it's been there for weeks? I mean, I'm already have no trust and loyalty here from the people who are telling me the numbers from the get-go anyway. But then you don't even try. I mean, you go up a little bit here and there, and then you just stop for like a week or two, like 2-3 weeks. Are you telling me that's what? Oh yeah, yeah. Go. No. So yeah, some of the probably I'm sure propaganda is coming out on the Iranian side, but I am more inclined to take their word over Trump and America's. Sadly. All right, I'm going to end it there. All right, guys. We're out of here. YouTube, Rumble. Thank you guys for joining, kicking back with me. Talking about Iran. Maybe I'll do it again tomorrow. Hopefully I can start doing this regularly. Pick all kinds of different topics or whatever. But all right, y'all stay easy. Be easy.